Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Lojak. He's Mike Brenner. This is the Odds Couple Sports Betting Show for Tuesday, August 30th. Mike Brenner. The first segment that we're going to cover right now, Week 4 of the NFL preseason. Now, this can be the hardest one.
I think it is.
Yeah, to handicap because there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainties. You never know. You really got to do research, and the games are all on Thursday. So it all comes really fast. A lot of information comes flooding in, kind of like on Wednesday and stuff like that. A lot of late line movements. I did, it's only Tuesday, but I did do my overall, overview of these games. I have a few things I think might have some value. Let me tell you the first one. The first one I was liking even before the news that just hit. Teddy Bridgewater, unreal. It's so new that I don't even know what the injury was. I just know that a lot of people
It was a non-contact knee injury.
But is it is he
Had
definitely out?
I don't know. Matty Ice told us he thinks he's gone for the year.
Gone for the year, something like that.
Left in an ambulance.
Yeah, all right. So
Sean Hill.
The Rams were a 5-point underdog against Minnesota, and I know that Minnesota, Mike Zimmer, of course,
loves winning those preseasons. Yeah.
Last year, though, they played 5 preseason games. The first 4 they won and covered. The last one they actually lost. Straight up. And especially with all this Bridgewater drama, given the Rams 5 points, it's now down to a 4 that I saw right before we checked here, but I grabbed it at 5. That might be a play with value there. What do you think, Mike Brenner?
I think you might be right because, this changes everything the way that Minnesota's approaching this last preseason game, obviously. So, yeah, that's something else. And I had a feeling, I was wondering how long it would take for him to get hurt this year. There was something that told me he might get hurt.
I'm almost certain that line will go down by
I think for sure. It might even before the evening's out.
Might be 2. Yeah, exactly. Might be 2.5 because this throws everything into confusion now. And even someone even someone like Mike Zimmer has to be like, all right, this game doesn't matter.
He got a lot of hair left like me, but by God, he's scratching every bit of it out.
Yeah, he's not going to be. If Bridgewater has a serious injury, the last thing Mike Zimmer is thinking about is Week 4 of the preseason.
Exactly. So, and check this out, too. Check this out, because a lot of betting value as we move forward past Week 4. Adrian Peterson may be called on to do a little bit more of the load than he was intended to. And guess what? Those legs ain't young.
Yeah.
Woo, boy, stay tuned.
And the Rams, they've got guys who are still playing to get experience, right? Goff, Keenum, all those guys. So I'm liking it. They might win that one outright.
All right.
That's what we're doing. We better stop talking about it, otherwise we'll be all in.
You might jump off
We'll be all in. All right, Mike Brenner. What game?
In.
I've looked at all these games. What game has jumped out at you that you want to discuss here?
I got to just tell you this, Pete. This is that week where my best advice, I just stay away. What I did, and again, this is just me, I went ahead and took this time because I'm not diving in heavily into Week 4, and I did some line shopping. I went ahead and signed up for some bonuses, so I made money this week without even having to place a bet. And again, that's me. Everybody's got their style. But the one game I was looking at was the Atlanta Falcon game. Again, because they're now scratching their head after that last performance. Matt Ryan, had it was not a good game. But
he's not going to play.
Exactly. He's not going to play, but now I think you got a backup that's going to be pushing. Go, wait a minute, I might get a chance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe Atlanta, who's been good to me, but that would be the only one I would really say I might put some money on.
Jacksonville's getting 3.5 though, and they didn't have a very good week 3 either, even though they won.
They're struggling in a lot of areas.
I'm thinking that Jacksonville might be the play here at plus 3.5, or especially like on a teaser. I like to do teasers.
It could be. I know. See, teasers I thought might be, but this is, Pete, this is that week where I have to call myself off. I have to say step back because I just don't. I don't have that special skill for Week 4 in preseason.
It's definitely unique, and definitely the key is to do a specific, game-specific and week-specific research. Let's see what else. What other picks was I like?
I was going to ask you what one was sticking out for you.
Well, I was thinking about the Bears getting 5.5. Now the Bears they're playing the Browns. Both of them are 0-3 straight up. The Bears covered 1. The Browns are 0-3.
But the Browns answered the questions they needed to before the Bears. So
I'm assuming RG3 won't play at all here.
I heard he's not playing.
Right, and I'm assuming all the big weapons in the receiving game are not going to play. If at most,
Josh Gordon is playing. They said
he is.
Yes, because he's going to be sitting weeks 1 through 4.
Okay.
And he wants to get the reps. So you better look out. There may be some. And he got a nice catch for a touchdown.
How much are they going to play? They're going to play him half or a quarter.
Probably half.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that Cutler's, I'm assuming, not going to play for Chicago, but Hoyer is a guy who's gotten results in the NFL. You're giving him 5.5 on a preseason game here. The Greek has 5. That's another one I'm liking. The Bears plus 5.5. Let's see, what else am I thinking?
Well, how about the Giants? You got to take a look at the Giants and the Jets too, because these are two teams that are going, wait a minute here. Especially the Giants.
Yeah,
they're really trying to figure it out.
The Giants are 2.5 or 3-point favorite against the Pats, and this is going to be all Brissett here for the Pats. And for the Giants, I'm assuming that there's going to be no Manning, so it's all going to be Nassib for the Giants, and he hasn't done well at all.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
And that's, again, it just confirms why I have to stay away, Pete. And I don't want to just put something out there to put it out there. I just can't.
I'll tell you what I am leaning on that one. I'm leaning to the under, and I'm definitely leaning to the Pats on a teaser. The under is 38.5 or 39. And then the Jets, that's one. They're a 3.5 point dog at Philly. That one, I'm actually leaning towards the over. It's 38. Petty, Hackenberg, and Geno Smith. Who knows who's going to be playing how much? But
I can tell you who's probably going to be filling in Minnesota, though, because it's already, I think it's going to be in the works. Mark Sanchez, because Denver wants him gone. They said by the end of the week he's done. Guess what? He'll probably be in a Minnesota Viking uniform real quick.
Right, so that's an interesting game as well. Denver is a 4-point dog at Arizona, and what is up with Arizona? I mean, Arizona, 3 blowout losses, ATS and straight up. Assuming there's going to be no Palmer here, right? All
no,
Barkley
and since
Stanton.
our last video where I told you there was a little scrapping going on the sidelines between Arians and Palmer, well, apparently that has not been patched up. They got some little differences, and you got some smoke flying around in the locker room, Pistol Pete. And I'm telling you, that might be a team you better look out. That defense better be stout because I think that offense is going to have some issues.
Yeah, so maybe Denver +4 is worth a shot.
Could be.
Let's see, what else do I have that I'm liking? I'm kind of liking, you know what I'm liking? I'm liking
them all, Pistol Pete. That's what you do.
I'm thinking about Buffalo. Buffalo's a 3-point dog at Detroit. Total's 38 or 38.5. I'm liking Buffalo +3, and I'm liking the over at 38 as well. Who's going to be playing? Again, Tyrod Taylor, Emmanuel,
too many factors
Jones.
to play into it.
You know Stafford's not going to be playing here, or I'm assuming he's not going to be. It's going to be all Orlovsky and Ruddock. And I'm liking the over 38 for sure, and I think I'm liking Buffalo +3 as well. And maybe
now, you're not going to make that official, are you?
Well, all these are like kind of, I mean, obviously when we start in week 1, it starts, so I'll make them all official.
With week 1, we're going to crank it up. I didn't mean to steer you off the path.
They're all just preseason officials.
There you go, preseason. Okay,
starting with
I like
week 1.
that.
But yeah, these will all be official preseason picks. I am kind of liking them all. I'm liking the Rams
the
at
big balls
+5.
preseason pick of the day.
Yeah, the Rams +5, the Bears +5.5, Buffalo, Detroit over 38, and a little bit Buffalo +3. That one I would hold back on a little bit. But and then
on something, Pete.
And then I'm also thinking about Tennessee, Miami under. Tennessee they're having that offense that's like sort of like run oriented, but not really. The total is 39. Where's my notes on that one? I can't find the notes.
Of course you can't.
Where the hell are my
And you're
notes
leaving red eye to New York tonight. Jesus.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm definitely liking the under. It's 39 or 39.5. Okay. I'm assuming Mariota won't play that much, but they'll.
No, I heard he's going to get. I heard he's going to get at least 2 series. That's what I heard.
All right, that's
series.
Good. I'm assuming no Tannehill though, and then you got Dicer, Doty,
they'd be crazy
and
to play
more.
him.
I'm liking the under 39 or 39.5 on that one. I'll make that one official as well, and then I'm also leaning under 38 in Washington, Tampa Bay.
You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them.
All right, so Mike Brenner, anything else you'd like to add to preseason week 4?
No, I really don't have it. I'm gearing up and I'm ready, and I'm not just saying this. This is not a plug. I use this time, and I'm going to continue to do my line shopping to open up my accounts with the book because I'm looking to probably get 3 more. I'm going to have like 8 by the time football's started.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. That's what I'm going to do, Pistol Pete.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm really liking under 39.5, Tennessee and Miami. Hopefully that one will cash. Mike Brenner, that does it for preseason NFL. Next week, it's week 1.
That's right. Football's in the air.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.
And moving on, now we're going to continue our coverage of week 1 in college football. Mike Brenner, this segment is going to cover only the Friday games. 5 games. We've discussed some of them. I have not had the chance to go in depth in some of these, like Ball State, Georgia State. I'm definitely, by Friday, I will have looked into it in depth.
I'm sure you will.
As of right now, I have not. We have looked into a few of these, though, in depth. Kansas State and Stanford is one we've discussed ad nauseum. Mike Brenner, I said I like the under when it was at 50. Now it's 48.5 market wide, and the question is, I really should be able to credit myself with 50, considering how many. But we got to be religious with the up-to-date lines.
But
I guess I would have to give myself 48.5. I want to take it. It's heading down, Mike Brenner. What do you think?
Well, you know what? This is one of them games I'm just staying off.
You're staying off of.
Staying off it completely. That's a team I want to watch to see what they've done. Stanford. I know they recruit good. I know that they coach good. But I don't know. And I know K-State, I don't expect much out of them. Bill Snyder, hell, the guy's got to be 85 years old now. But it's just one of those week 1 games that I say to myself, don't think I have any edge, Pete.
All right, let me just decide whether I want to give it officially at 48.
Here he goes.
Then the other game that I did
Pull
look
that
at is
trigger.
Army and Temple, and this is an interesting one.
It is,
Army
it is.
Army has kind of been underachieving for a while now. They're on the upswing, and Temple is also a team that I don't necessarily want to bet against.
Yeah,
but
last
in a game,
year they cashed some tickets. Boy.
yeah, and they're probably going to be as good or better this year. They're giving a hell of a lot of points here, though, to an Army team that's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
I analyzed this one with Jeff from BMOCWins.com. I said I liked Army. He said he liked Temple. At that point, it was 17. Now it's down to 16. That doesn't necessarily mean I was right, and we don't know where it's going to close. But my sense is that Army plus the points is probably the way to go. Although I'm not going to give it at 16, but it's tempting though. It's tempting as hell.
Yeah, I got nothing to say on that one. I put one out for Thursday, and Pete, I'll just tell you right now, Friday, nothing just jumped out and grabbed me. Just nothing jumped out and grabbed me. So I'm going to lean on you. And
All
see what
right,
you got.
let me just decide. I loved Stanford, Kansas State at 50. Now, do I want to give it at 48 and a half?
Oof, that's. Come on,
Let
you
me
are
think,
totals
let me
low,
think,
Shaq. So
let me
week
think,
one
let
should
me
not
think,
confuse you.
let me think. Yeah, no, it's just like, do I want to? All right, I'll give it at 48 and a half. Fine.
Big
We are
balls.
going to give the best lines here though, and that's going to be minus 107 at
Okay,
Pinnacle.
minus
Kansas State
107.
and Stanford. If this game lands on 49 or 50, I'll be not happy, but whatever. All right, Mike Brenner. Let's move on to the Saturday games.
All right.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.
And now we're looking at the Saturday games for Week 1 college football. These games go Saturday, September 3rd. Mike Brenner, there's about 25 games or so here, and we've covered a lot of them. A bunch of them I've yet to look into, but I'm eager to look into them when I get the time later on this week. But there's a bunch of
What are you going to do on the red-eye flight tonight? That's what you can do.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right,
yeah.
Mike Brenner, a lot of these games we have analyzed. I don't even know words. I guess the first one let's start with is the USC-Alabama game, because we discussed that with a bunch of people. We all kind of thought that Alabama minus 10.5 would be a good bet. Now it's up to 11.5.
And I'm hearing a friend of mine told me that thing's going to be sitting at about 13 by
Yes.
the time kickoff, which I don't
Would not be surprised me at all.
I put a personal one in on the full game. I got it at 10. It was
Really?
10.5.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'm going, because Pete, this is when we start our official picks,
Yes,
baby. This
yes.
is for real. This is the odds couple. All right. I'm going Bama on the first half. I saw it at 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have the first half lines here, but I will
It
check
was
them and
there.
give you.
Yep.
With all these lines, we will give you the best line available at the time that we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm riding them with the game, minus 11.5. I got a feeling.
Okay.
Well, I don't got a feeling. You got a brand new coach coming in. You think he can just line up and give Alabama a fight, even though it's on a neutral field? I don't see it happening. I got a feeling this is going to be an embarrassing game. I think they win by 20.
Yeah, could easily see
really
it. All right,
do,
so you're
Pete.
going to take. Look, I bet it at 10.5 myself. You're going to take first half and the
Yes,
full game. All right, now the
absolutely.
next game that I was talking about a lot, which I was liking the under 55 in Rutgers, Washington, and now it's
Yeah.
down to 54 or 54.5 market wide. So I guess much like with the Stanford game, I will give it under 54.5 minus 107 is the Pinnacle line. If it lands on 55, I'll be upset, but whatever.
Yeah, and I think, I really think Washington's going to get a lot of those points. I think Rutgers
Right.
is in a total rebuilding mode, and I was thinking about pulling the trigger on Washington on the side, but I'm going to hold off, Pistol Pete.
All right, now let's talk about the next game that we've debated quite a bit over the past bunch of weeks. That's UCLA at Texas A&M. It's firmly at -3. No, it's 3 or 3.5. I was saying I like Texas A&M. You were saying you like UCLA. Do either of us want to go official with this one? Don't forget, you can do money lines and everything.
Yeah, of
and,
course, of course. No, actually, Pete, I'm going to sit back. This
Mm-hmm.
is another one of both those programs. I'm going to sit back and take a look and see what they're doing. Texas A&M sweeping out a mess. UCLA, a lot of talent, great quarterback, expectations. You got a coach that needs to prove his worth this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit back.
They're replacing a lot of guys at receiver, but they also have a very strong secondary,
Yes.
which plays into Texas A&M. Texas A&M has a ton of depth at receiver, but a new quarterback. So there are a lot of X factors.
Got a learning
uncertainties
curve
there.
for them, yeah.
All right, Mike Brenner, is there anything else you want to give officially?
Buddy, I can't wait to give
Okay.
this one officially, all right?
Oh yeah, North Carolina, Georgia.
No.
Oh no.
I was
okay,
gonna,
okay.
but guess what? I'm going Clemson, baby. I'm going to
okay,
tell you
right.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
I saw, again, I watched 4 high school games, literally in the stands in Gainesville, Georgia with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
This kid's the real deal. I just saw an interview with him. He is fired up. He's focused. If the only thing I think could stop this game from covering is if he gets hurt. Just if he gets hurt. So with Clemson, I love it. I got the first half, Pete, at -4.
Okay, so you like the first half?
Love it. And I took the game at -7.5, -110.
Well, why don't you take -7, -120 at Pinnacle?
Okay, well, let's just
Or
do
would
that.
you rather have 7.5 -110?
Well, no, because you know what?
Half points don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
right.
bottom line, I'm taking it. Give me the -7.5, -110. I don't care.
Okay, all right.
It does matter, but not in
is.
this game. Pete.
Okay, I hear you. -7.5, 110, and you're also going to take the first half. All
yes,
right.
-4.
Now, I'll bring up a couple of games that I'm liking.
Now, those are official for me, so you
Yes.
you
All these picks are official.
Okay.
And Western Michigan at Northwestern is a game that we actually did discuss before. I don't remember exactly when, but I said I was liking Northwestern.
Yeah.
At the time, they were 6.5 or 6. Now it's all the way down to 5. I don't like it going down, so I have to take it now, but I think I will take it anyway. Western Michigan +5, -106. I'm also thinking about maybe giving it on the money line as well. Northwestern, just basically the same kind of team that they have been. They played Ball State last year, won by 4.
Sure.
They got
plus,
nice
they got a lot of guys that left, and they weren't even good last year. So
they don't really have
Western Michigan, they're stocked, they're loaded up.
Yeah, and Northwestern doesn't really have the big play kind of guys to get and extend that.
I wouldn't talk you off that ledge.
All right,
Pete.
I'll give that officially, even though the line is moved. Western Michigan +5. Mike Brenner, is there anything else you want to
There's
give?
one other play I got,
All right,
and that's
what's
it
that?
for week 1 in college, okay?
Let's
I'm
hear
going
it.
with a 3-team teaser.
Oh, my
Pistol
God,
Pete,
okay.
And I got
All
10
right,
points on
okay.
these.
All right,
okay? I'm going.
10 points, okay.
Yep.
Is that, okay, we'll have to check. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever it is, we'll...
10-point adjustment. What are your standards, 7 and 10?
Well, you have to, if you're going to do a teaser, you have to name the book so we can give
Exactly.
you the
All right, do you have any information I can put it together with you right there then? Let's do this.
Yeah, just name
All
the
right,
book
Clem-
and we'll tell you.
All right, let's go Clemson at Bookmaker.
At Bookmaker, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, 10-point teaser at Bookmaker.
Yes.
3-teamer, okay.
Yep, here we go. Clemson.
Okay, that'll be minus 7.5, so we'll give you +2.5.
Exactly. And Alabama.
Alabama, that'll be -1.5.
Yep. And Oklahoma, baby.
Oh boy, yeah, I like that one. Oklahoma at Bookmaker will give you -2.
Yeah, because it jumped up. They were
Yeah.
10, jumped all the way up to 12.
Yeah,
so exactly.
Houston is a team that might be a little bit overvalued this year.
I think so. I really like this. I like coming out of the gate, baby. Woo!
All right, sounds good. Let's see. There's a bunch of other picks that I want to see this, and you're not going to take UNC and Georgia. You're not even going to touch that.
I really want to pull the trigger. I'm not. You know what, Pete? God, no, I'm not going to let you pressure me.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised by kickoff though if I don't put a bet on North Carolina because I still like it, and I think Kirby Smart. I read some reports. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah.
He figured it out. When you're stepping between the hedges, you got a feeling everything's just perfect. No, Mark Richt, that was a bull in a china damn shop.
All right, you know what else I'm going to give? One final pick. I'm going to give over in Bowling Green, Ohio State. Bowling Green, of course, has they're losing a lot of guys on offense, but they play a big up-tempo game. And Ohio State has questions on offense, right?
They really
have
do.
young guys, and that makes me first of all, Bowling Green's not going to be able to stop the guys on Ohio State.
Yeah.
Makes me think that Ohio State's going to be testing out their offense a little bit to see what they can do.
And that might mean a bunch of points.
Bowling Green plays an up-tempo game anyway. They should, even though they'll be outmatched by Ohio State's defense, they should at some point be able to put up some points. And last year, all those first 3 games of Bowling Greens went all to the 70s and 80s against.
Wow.
I forgot who they were against, but they were against Tennessee. One of them was against Tennessee, Memphis, and so they all went into the 70s and 80s. And the total here is 63.5 or 64. I will take over 63.5 -107. Bowling Green, Ohio State.
I love it.
All
Total's
right,
low, Shaq,
Mike
baby.
Brenner, why don't you review your picks?
Okay, here we go. I'm telling you, I can't wait. College football's here. Clemson, first half -4. Clemson for the game -7.5. Also, Alabama. You know what? I'm going to switch that. I'm going to take away that half because that'll eat me up forever.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do the -7 for Clemson, -120.
Nice.
Yes.
Good decision.
Absolutely.
Good decision.
Absolutely. I'm not
Half
leaving that
points
hook
do
swing.
matter.
They do matter. All right. And then Bama, first half -7, Pistol Pete, and the game -11.5. And my 5th and final pick for the weekend is a 3-team teaser. All right. Clemson will be +2.5, Bama -1.5, and Oklahoma -2. That's after a 10-point adjustment. Pistol Pete, college football's here, and I'm fired up, baby.
That sounds good. Hashtag half points do matter. And Mike Brenner, we will be back for college football week 2. Hopefully a little bit more organized, streamlined, because I'm going to have a lot of picks a lot of these weeks, and we'll be able to give picks on opening lines on Mondays, then sort of during the week feel it out, then give more official picks on Friday, and so we'll have hopefully a bunch of picks each week to give to our viewers.
Pistol Pete escaping to
college
New
football
York
is
tonight.
here. The wave is officially on us. It's officially upon us. Good show, Mike Brenner.
Go Bama.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.
And now we're going to talk about some exotic props coming up for the NFL season. Mike Brenner, we're going to have Jordan Sharp joining us via Skype, and these props they're recreational, but they can definitely have value, and they're definitely fun to discuss. And the odds are out there. Jordan Sharp, thanks for being with us.
Hey, Jordan.
Thanks for having me, fellas. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. Right, we're all excited. I'm excited for the NFL season. Mike Brenner, I don't know if are you excited?
Fired up. I'll fly off this chair, Pistol Pete. Don't get me going.
All right. So the first prop we're going to discuss here: first head coach to be fired. This is a very interesting prop. Could have some value. I'll just tell you right now, the favorite is Mike McCoy. I'm quoting odds from 5 dimes here at plus 350.
And I got to stop you real quick. Sure. This is a guy that's favored, and they just extended his contract 3 years after last year's terrible season. Okay, I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, I would say in any of these preseason props, the favorite is always one that I'm not looking to bet on. I would take an underdog. Not exactly sure why McCoy would be.
I still think he should get fired. That's what I'm saying.
Of San Diego, of course. Then we got Jim Caldwell, always in the top, on the hot seat here, plus 400.
Nice guy. Sunday morning dinners, Sunday afternoon dinners.
Oh, sweet guy.
Yeah.
What wonderful
sweet guy.
And then Jeff Fisher is the third choice at 6-1. Everyone else is 12-1 or higher. Well, first start with you, Mike Brenner. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I'm a Fisher fan because I like his style. But you know what? When I read he's been coaching 17 years and he's only had like 3 or 4 winning seasons. Yeah, he's got to do it this year. He's got to be gone. He's got one of the best running backs in football. But McCoy, I wasn't high on him last year. Caldwell, and we've talked about all this last year because of these coaches. This plays into my, in the way I handicap games. So I wouldn't be surprised if Caldwell's the first to go. That's going to be my pick.
Yeah, I can't see Fisher going just because, first of all, they're not expected to do well this year, and it's like the first, year in the move to LA. Why introduce negativity in the first year? I don't know. Jordan Sharp, what do you think? What's your take on maybe a coach to bet for with prop value for a first head coach to be fired?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you guys. Among the guys that are below 10-1, we'll get to the guys that are above that here in a minute. But those 3 guys, I have to agree. Mike McCoy, that one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Caldwell, though, is the guy that I think immediately stuck out because I was surprised he even got the Detroit job, let alone the fact that he's going to stick around. Now he doesn't have Calvin Johnson. I think that's going to truly expose that Matt Stafford is not a good quarterback because he's had the best wide receiver in football, honestly, in the last 20 years potentially at his side all these years. He's not going to have that. They're going to rely on Golden Tate as their number 1 receiver, their defensive suspect. I think he's going to see the brunt of that. Though Jeff Fisher is actually a pretty interesting one if you think about it, but I kind of agree with you guys. They're going to fire Jeff Fisher when they have 10-win expectation, not when they're thinking they're going to be an 8 or 9-win football team because, Jeff Fisher, if you guys watch Hard Knocks, he basically said, he's like, I'm sick of going 8-8. That's what Jeff Fisher does. He goes 8-8. That's his thing. So, they're not going to fire him.
He ought to be coaching for Dallas.
Yeah, right. Now, well, that brings up an interesting point because what do you guys think about Jason Garrett at 12-1?
Yeah, 12-1. It's kind of interesting. I mean, the problem with
again, he just got his out. Again, Romo's hurt, so there's his out. He'll be back next year because he's on a damn string. He's a puppet.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what about Pagano though? At 16-1, the Colts might be in for a real bad.
I think you know what they are. He's running for his life, Andrew Luck, and he's got that big contract. I got a feeling it's going to be Pagano.
And if the Colts, suddenly start losing like game after game after game with Luck in there, and the offensive line isn't getting it done, the defense is horrible, that might be your bet right there at 16-1. What do you think?
Yeah, I living in Indianapolis, I hear a lot about these Colts, and I'm actually not like I'm a Chuck Pagano fan, but I'm not a Chuck Pagano apologist either. I think that he's not like the biggest problem in Indianapolis. He is one of the problems. I think Ryan Grigson, their GM, is the biggest problem because, like you said, they just signed Luck to this huge deal. Yet he hasn't been protected since he's been here. So 16-1 at Pagano could be a good scapegoat for them, and maybe Grigson could say that it's the coach and not him. But yeah, at that point, I think when we get that 16-1. That's pretty intriguing for a guy who is kind of like the sleeper in all these favorites among these guys.
Yeah, and then we got Sean Payton at 14-1. It feels like maybe they'll fire him after the year, but you think they would really fire him in the middle of the year? What do you think, Mike Brenner? You know this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they could this year because I think that the reason that they stuck with him is they said, look, it's this year or it's going to be done. And if they're not showing that before 7 or 8 games, I think he's going to see the door.
You don't think they would just wait till the end of the year?
No,
you think they would
I don't. That's the Bennett family. They're crazy people anyway.
All right, so maybe
Benson family.
Maybe Sean Payton at 14-1 is worth a shot. What about Chip Kelly? He'll be there the whole year. You think he's 25-1?
There's no way they can fire him unless he gets in a fist fight with one of the players, which hell that could happen. So
or Rex Ryan 25-1. Jordan Sharp, what do you think? No?
That's actually intriguing. Probably not worthwhile, but at least it's possible. I just don't know. I think it's probably pretty respectful of its price at 25-1. It's definitely a very big long shot.
Yeah, a lot of ego plays into that. Trust me, who makes the decisions in Buffalo, their ego won't allow them to say we made a mistake. big, so they'll ride him out through the whole year.
Nice analysis, Mike Brenner. All right, Jordan Sharp, you have anything else to add before we come to our final conclusions here?
I think, Ron, I'm going to go ahead and give you my pick. I think it's Jim Caldwell, 4-1, baby.
Really? At 4-1, you take it?
4-1.
All right, Mike Brenner, why don't you go before? Give me a few seconds to decide. Mike.
Yep, I think it's Pagano. I think Caldwell could go second. I originally thought Caldwell. The more I think about it, though, Caldwell has the excuse that Stafford doesn't have a wide receiver, but he will go. But I think Pagano's going to get ran out quicker because I got a feeling that team's going to limp out to like 1-4, 1-5.
And would the upper management fire him in the middle of the year?
Absolutely.
They would.
Absolutely. They're over the cancer story. This guy survived cancer 3 years ago. No, I'm not putting. He's a great guy, but winning's winning. So.
Yep. All right, I guess I'll go with that one too. Chuck Pagano at 16-1. All right, we got some other interesting, quirky props for the upcoming NFL season. Jordan Sharp, what have you looked into for us?
So I do have a couple here. The first one from Bovada Sportsbook. I'm not even going to tell you guys the odds before I want your reaction because I think you're going to be shocked like I was when I saw the odds to this. But will Colin Kaepernick be a member of the San Francisco 49ers on Week 1?
Wow. See, that's interesting. See, Kaepernick was. I feel like he was in danger of getting cut anyway. Maybe not in Week 1. God, that is a tough one. I feel like.
Did you read the article today? I read an article today that said he's probably not going to be a member of that team throughout the before the opening rosters.
So I would say if I had to set odds for that, I would make it a small favorite line. I would put it at maybe the answer that he's not on the roster is minus 150, maybe minus 170,
reasonable.
minus 180. What are the odds?
Are you ready for this, guys?
Yeah.
The no is plus 145.
Nice. Wow. There you go. Yeah.
Now, is that to do with his contract? Like, does that have anything to do with like the amount of money they'd have to pay him out? But it does seem like that's a great value, is it not?
I mean, I haven't looked into it specifically because the factors that determine that are like exactly like
he's got 13 million coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
How his contract is structured is important. I just haven't looked into it. So that's what mainly matters. So I'm assuming if the line. Well, then again, Bovada sometimes hangs props like that are way off and that you can actually beat. So that might be value there.
Sure.
Plus 145. What do you think, Mike Brenner?
I think that's a good bet. I might just drop a couple on there, a couple units.
And that definitely feels like something you can do like a little bit of research, read an article or two on, and
after he pulled this stuff with the national anthem, be it right or wrong, bottom line, it's making some waves. There's people pissed off. He might be knocked. He might not even be alive by the time the season starts.
And the reason these props are so beatable is because Bovada has low limits on them.
Sure.
So if a couple guys do their research and beat him for a few $100, it's not a big
agree.
deal. So our viewers look into that, research that, and at Bovada right now you can probably get some free money. Nice find, Jordan Sharp. What else do you have for us?
Yeah, and the other one here at Bet Online is, I think, also a real interesting one because we thought we had the Tom Brady FU Tour last year. No, it's going to be this year. So there's a very good one on Bet Online right now that I think is interesting. Obviously, Tom Brady at most will be limited to 12 games this season. So the question is, who will have the most career passing yards by the end of the 2016 season? Will it be Tom Brady, who's sitting at just over 58,000, or Dan Marino at 61,361? Tom Brady would need approximately 3,333 yards to tie, or just one more to be the leader. And Tom Brady is the favorite at minus 140. Dan Marino plus 110. What are you guys thinking on that?
So how many more yards does he need? 3,300?
3,333 to tie. So
33.
Wow, that's tough. So that means over 12 games, that's about what, like 285 or something like that?
275,
and that's
280.
barring an injury, if there's an injury.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yes, that's a tough
I got to take Marino.
I think no. I would take. Well, the injury is the whole deal. Brady could go down if he doesn't get injured. I would definitely take Brady because they might have a really powerful passing game with those tight ends. With the dual tight end that just can't be stopped.
Yeah.
And 275, 280 yards a game for an explosive. That's very, very doable. Very doable.
Yes.
He could even do that in 11 games, even if he does. I'll take the Brady on that one. What are the odds?
Minus 140 for Brady, so there's a little bit of chalk, and it's plus 110 for Marino.
If he doesn't get injured, I think he definitely gets it. You don't think so?
No, I got a feeling that he's not.
Because he's going to get injured, or because?
Well, no, I just don't think they're going to have that much of a pressing need to throw that much. I just don't.
Yeah, but he's going to be mad. He
wants the record.
Yeah, for 4,700 yards. He's going to have the equivalent of almost 4,000 in 12 games this year. I got to take Brady too. I'm with Pete.
And if they have to respect the running game, those tight ends might be just impossible to stop. And he doesn't have to put himself out there just dink and dunk, and then they yards after the catch. Yeah. That adds up quickly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Brady.
It's a prop bet. I'm going to take an underdog. I never take underdogs.
Interesting, Jordan Sharp. Great prop there you brought up for us. Is there anything else you have for us?
Other than the coaches one, which I am with Caldwell, but I will say that Pagano is my second choice in there, so I did want to mention that. But other than that, the Bet Online has a couple of other ones. Is when will Phillip Rivers throw a TD pass number 300, so that's a pretty interesting one before or after November 17th. I'm not quite sure how many he has right now, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Do you guys have any thoughts on that one as well?
I don't know. My sense is that they're going to have a stronger than normal running game with Gordon, and so maybe he'll be throwing fewer touchdowns than in his career. That would be my guess. Maybe a little bit less pass heavy than they have been in recent years. So I would, if they're basing that prop based on his career averages, I would say it's probably after.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the underdog too, at plus 120. He's got
Plus
281 right now. So he needs 20 more to go above, or 19 more, excuse me, to throw 300. So yeah, I think in November 17th, I'm going to be with you guys too. I think plus 120 on the afters. Pretty good.
Awesome. I like this. Anything else, Jordan Sharp?
No, that one's it, man. I can't stretch myself too thin on these exotics, baby. We got the regular season coming up.
Damn right, baby.
Yeah, this is the fun part of NFL handicapping. And the thing is, if your bet size is low, these prop bets can actually have good value.
Absolutely.
At Bodog, places like that offer them. All right, Jordan Sharp, thanks for being with us.
Yep, no problem, guys.
Have a great day, buddy.
So we're giving you picks every day, and you're probably making your own as well. Be sure to participate in SBR's weekly Twitter Bankroll Challenge. Just post your picks on Twitter with @SBRSportsPicks and the hashtag BetSBR before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. We'll be betting your picks, and if the bankroll is positive at the end of the week, you could win the profits. Picks must be of events taking place that day and available in at least one of the major sportsbooks shown in our Best Sportsbooks page.